Good morning. This week you're going to learn how to make your own classes in Java. You would want to make a class for an object that you're going to be working with, and you always start the same way. Public class person is the name of the class we're going to start, and then you're going to have a set of curly brackets. At the top, the very first thing we should see are a comment describing what you're going to do, and also at the top goes something called instance variables. Some people call it instance data or state variables. All of these describe attributes of your object. And so they're usually primitive data types. This just variables that you're creating that don't belong in any of the methods that you're going to create. So for a person, I'm just going to create a name and an age, and instance variables are always private, which means they can only be accessed when you make a person object. So I'm going to say private string name and private int age. Okay, now I'm going to create something called a constructor, and constructors set up each person object with instance variables typically. So when we make a person object, we're going to start our constructor the same way. We say public, the name of the class, person. Then there's a set of parentheses, and inside of the parentheses we're going to list the parameters that are required to make a person object. And since we've created two instance variables, usually at a minimum we are going to include a string and an int inside of the parameter list. Now we need to populate this data every time we make a person object. So we're going to say name equals n and age equals a. And this will create for us a person object that has a specific name and a specific age. Now, at this point, we usually create something called accessor methods. And they allow us to report instance data values. Okay, so I'm going to make a method called public string get underscore name. They usually start with get. They will return whatever type of variable it is, so we would just say return name. Then we're going to do this again to report the age. And like I said, we usually do this for each and every piece of instance data. So this time we're going to say get age. We're going to return an int, and we'll return the age. The next thing that you would want to do is maybe create some methods to change the name or change the age or whatever else you want to do to the object. So maybe we want to, so I just call these other methods. So maybe we want to say change names. Now we don't really need to return anything. We're just changing the value. So we'll call this nName for new name. And what we're going to do in this method is simply all we're going to do is say that the name is equal to the new name. And then we're going to do something similar. So we're going to change age, integer, new age, and we're going to say age equals new age. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. Save this person class.